Okay, so here is my definitive view of ego. Ego does not exist, but it's one of the techniques that is used and one of the words that is used to hypnotize people in mass and collectivize them. I'm going to explain how that's done. First of all, you are presented with something that may change your life. Okay, and so you go and say it's about how to improve your state of mind. It's always about how to be a better person, because people who want to be a better person do struggle in the world sometimes. So what has happened here is you've gone somewhere to where there's an audience, because there generally has to be an audience in order for this technique to work. And you have been conditioned with a level of truth and philosophy that has a foundational root in Eastern mysticism, and ultimately has a degree of usefulness if you understand it clearly. Like, nothing can stop you from achieving your goals, the way that I explained that to you in the last video. So say then that you have gone to this place and you're one of the audience members, or you're watching this on a YouTube video, or wherever it is, a speaker is talking about the solution to your problems. So at some point, after conditioning you with a level of truth and gaining your trust, what he does, and since you're already there for the purpose of improving your own life, what they do is that they then use a projection, a really strong magnification of the word ego. And what they do is they begin to speak about human archetypes and personality traits that can be viewed as obstacles in a human's life, personality flaws. And they just generalize them in this thing called an ego. And they continue to speak about all the personality traits in something that doesn't exist. They generalize it into an ego, and what they're doing at that point is they're drawing you out of your centered state of mind into this collectivized, generalized thing that doesn't exist, except that it's abstract and it's being used at that particular moment in time to hypnotize you. So they continue to outline the ego, and then by the time that they're done, they've collectivized their entire audience. They now have every single person's attention on this ego, and they drive it back into you psychologically as a collective entity, and they have essentially wiped out your individuality or pacified it, and now have given you a collective identity based on how they did that, by driving you into an identifying with one of the qualities that that ego possesses that might be a quality found in any human being. They have driven a hypnotic collective identity into you. You are conditioned now to accept the ideology that is driving Eastern philosophy of collectivism. And what they can do then is manipulate you through that collectivism. And I'm just explaining to you the technique, and this is my definitive view of the ego. It does not really exist, but you, like I, consider sovereignty the ultimate expression of individualism and free will, then you no longer identify with a collective entity. There are many people in the world who are fragmented and don't view the world in that same way. So I have to say at this point that I respect your individuality as an individual. But you and I, you are you and I am me. The process in which the collectivism was driven into you was a hypnotic one. It was an abrasive one. It was one that infringed on your right to know, to be hypnotized in a state of collective consciousness where I have to endure, say, owning problems that exist in the world that I didn't create myself, is something I don't have the time to do. But people have been hypnotized into that state. I can choose which one of those I want to help, and that is up to me. But I'm not going to be in a state that I'm hypnotized and proceeding in life half a fucking wake, No fucking way. So the techniques that are being used are hypnosis. And once you know hypnosis, you can never be hypnotized again.